Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you here from Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Sarajevo would like to thank all of you for joining us today for this special event of Indonesia, Bosnia and Herzegovina Virtual Business Matching 2021. First of all, to start today's events, I would like to announce today's agenda as follows. Opening speech by Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia for Bosnia and Herzegovina, His Excellency Rum Kono. Speech by Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina for Indonesia, His Excellency Mehmet Halilović. Keynote speech by Secretary General of Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Momon Rusmono. Speech from Government of Bosnia and Herzegovina, delivered by Assistant Minister of the Sector for Agriculture, Food, Forestry and Rural Development in the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Relations, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mr. Dusan Nešković. Presentation by the speakers. At the end of the presentation, there will be a B2B meeting in virtual rooms. To come forward and begin our first session, we would like to invite His Excellency Rum Kono for the opening speech. Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia for Bosnia and Herzegovina, His Excellency Rum Kono.
His Excellency Mr. Sahrus Yassin Limpo, Minister of Agriculture of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Dusan Nešković, Deputy Minister of Foreign Trade and Economic Relations, Bosnia and Herzegovina, His Excellency, my brother Mr. Mehmet Halilović, the Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina to the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Omnien Nešković, the Customs Sector of the Bosnia and Herzegovina, an indirect to authority, His Excellency, my brother Rosan P. Ruslani, Chairman of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Misat Yasar Pahik, Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce of Bosnia and Herzegovina, dear Indonesian businessmen and Bosnia businessmen, ladies and gentlemen who I respect. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya menyapa kepada rekan-rekan saya, saudara-saudara saya di Indonesia sebagai pengusaha dan khususnya kepada Bapak Rosan Ruslani. Saya ucapkan selamat nanti menjadi Duta Besar Amerika Serikat. Dan sebelum saya membacakan sambutan saya ingin menyampaikan bahwa peserta dari Indonesia, pengusaha yang berbagai dari usahanya sebesar 138 orang. Salam hormat saya dari Sarajevo. Good morning from Sarajevo. I would like to thank you for your presence, ladies and gentlemen, especially Bosnian and Herzegovina entrepreneur and Indonesian entrepreneur the business matching even both physically and via virtual, talking about the economic development of Indonesia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Business matching is an annual agenda for the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Bosnia, in which the aim is to improve the trade balance from year to year by facilitating B2B meeting between Indonesia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. This year, we must hold the event in a new normal way because it was held at a time when the world was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, in which Bosnia and Indonesia were also affected. As we know, the meeting cannot be held physically but rather virtual to meet the health protocol of the two countries. However, I hope the virtual meeting will still give the best result for the entrepreneur of the two countries. As we know, the coronavirus has occurred since April 2020, and it has caused all countries a decline in their economic growth. Indonesia saw its economic growth fell from 5% in 2019 to minus 2.07% in 2020. However, projection in 2021 show the Indonesian economic growth will recover to 4% or 5%. Ladies and gentlemen, as an effort for economic recovery, the Indonesian government carries out comprehensive fiscal and monetary policies. In addition, the Indonesian government also allocates budget for economy recovery of 48.14 billion US dollar, including 6 billion US dollar for health program and direct assistance for those affected by COVID-19. The Indonesian government also implemented large-scale social restriction in order to reduce the spread of COVID-19, which had a wide impact on the production, distribution, and other process of economic life. To face the impact of the implementation of large-scale social restriction, the government issued various regulations to drive the economy, including regulation related to job creation law by imposing facilities related to business license and permits, mobilizing small and medium enterprises, investment, labor, facilities, fiscal and land right, environment, property, economy zone, and government services for goods and services. It is hoped that with this legal umbrella, Indonesian investment and trade can increase in a positive way to contribute to GDP. The impact of positive Indonesian government policies, so as the improvement in the deficit in the economy balance of payment from 0.8% of a trade balance surplus 21.74 US dollar 21.4774 billion US dollar in 2020. Indonesian total foreign trade in 2020 reached 194 billion US dollar, where exports were recorded at 163 billion US dollar, and import amounted to 141 million US dollar. Indonesian largest trading partners are China, the United States, Japan, India, and Singapore, and Arabian countries. Indonesian leading products are animal of vegetable fats, mineral foods, iron and steel, electrical machinery and equipment, and others. We note that trade statistics for Indonesia and Bosnia and Herzegovina are still small, but from year year. The trade show an increasing positive trend, while the total trade between Indonesia and Bosnia exceeds that of the previous year, which reached 7.32 million. Ladies and gentlemen, business matching has a different focus in which the Indonesian embassy will open non-traditional market access from Eastern European countries, especially the Balkan countries. Bosnia and Herzegovina will be the market destination for commodities from Indonesia to be marketed to Eastern European countries. The focus of this activity is on the agribusiness sector, wood products, tourism, and 5 of Indonesian top products, namely paper, palm oil, wood pellets, coconut briquettes, shoes, and electronic and other. Through the opportunity, I would like to say that I'm open to facilitating Bosnian entrepreneurs to build supply chain cooperation through investment, joint production, and joint marketing, both in Bosnia and Indonesia. In the future, I also hope that Bosnia and Indonesian businessmen will visit each other after the world situation gets back to normal. The Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia also want to offer an invite of the Bosnia-Herzegovina Chamber of Commerce to participate in the Indonesian Trade Expo, event which is planned to be held in October 2021 in Jakarta, Indonesia. The Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Bosnia is not only held to B2B meeting for economy relation, but we hope will be able to enhance cooperation in broader aspects such as socio-culture and building people-to-people relation through knowledge and transport, as well as support each other in regional and multilateral setting. Thank you very much.
Next, we would like to invite Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina for Indonesia, His Excellency Mehmet Halilović.
Good morning or good afternoon from Jakarta, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin with a quote by one of the greatest businessmen, Mr. Henry Ford, a businessman that make nothing but money is the poor business. This quote by Henry Ford is saying that the business is not always but money. Of course, it should be profitable. However, there are so many elements that need to be focused on the business to create healthy environments of the business to the growth to the next level. In this case, I would like to deliver my message according to my expertise as the ambassador. I wished the start of the laying the first stone of the business opportunity between two beautiful countries and the business matching event. We also create more harmonious relation between Bosnia and Herzegovina and the Republic of Indonesia. Not only creating the better relation, but also better relation will be involve more people and will grow the business. Thus, I will be benefit in the both ways. Ladies and gentlemen, in this important day, spear the ongoing pandemic, I would like to express my gratefulness that we are still able to connect the event of this shake of the both countries' interest. This could be one of the related historical events, since we have not seen yet any striking bilateral cooperation between Bosnia and Indonesia. Further, I would like to express my gratitude to those who has the willingness to participate. I will not forget to thank you, the Embassy of Republic of Indonesia, and His Excellency, my friend, Ambassador of Republic of Indonesia in Bosnia, Rona Kolb, for making this possible, and other distinguished participate. I couldn't manage one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, from this side of the government of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and as the ambassador, we are extremely interested in opening more trade activities between our countries. The export and import of the raw materials, as well as the product materials, can be very fertile. Bosnia and Herzegovina has many companies that works in section of the producing chemical materials, minerals, and other for us to maintain producing the halal product. As we already know that Indonesia has similarity to Bosnia and Herzegovina in the terms of the majority of the Muslim population in both countries. Therefore, the halal product can be a great opportunity for export and import section between two countries. We are also opening opportunities for Indonesian companies in importing milk product as well as the halal bread meat. Today, we also have with us representatives of the company from the Bosnia and Herzegovina working in the field of logistics, technology, and another related fields. Ladies and gentlemen, I also can notice many companies of conventional, of the small companies in Indonesia that produce raw and product materials such as the charcoal. We are also interested in importing product in the retail textile that is already one of the most important product of Indonesia, or chemical materials that halal product. I would like to mention the halal product are not only demanded by the Muslim community, but also by other Virgin community in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In conclusion, regarding export and import between our country, we have not seen successful trade balance if we compare in another Balkan countries. Therefore, we urgently need to take starting points such as organizing this kind of event as introduction to the better, more achieve and more benefit trade relation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are interested in seeking cooperation between region, Indonesia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. We need to introduce as much as possible business and the culture exchange between border cities, sister cities. In this field of tourism, we are also seeing opportunity to achieve the assistance progress and to create more possibility to grow to the relation business field. We would like to welcome travel agency, like one of the participating companies. They're here to support this plan. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we are seeking opportunity to sell product and to create more business opportunity from countries in the both countries. The embassy will show facility. The business will require information and other kind of assistance. My speech shouldn't be too long, but include enough to cover today's subject and to welcome all as the remarks of this extremely benefit event. I really do hope that we can build more than just a business. We can build closer between people of Bosnia and Herzegovina and Indonesia. I wish you all of the best. Once again, good afternoon or good morning from Jakarta.
Thank you, His Excellency Mehmet Halilovic. Moving to the main event, it's now our pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Secretary General of the Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Momon Rusmono.
Terima kasih. Yang mulia, Tuan Dusan Neskovic, Asisten Menteri Perdagangan Luar Negeri dan Ekonomi Bosnia and Herzegovina, Yang mulia Bapak Rumkono, Duta Besar Indonesia untuk Bosnia dan Herzegovina, Yang mulia Tuan Mehmet Halilovic, Duta Besar Bosnia dan Herzegovina untuk Indonesia, hadirin yang terhormat, suatu kehormatan bagi saya dapat berbicara pada forum Indonesia, Bosnia, and Herzegovina Business Matching. Penghargaan saya kepada Bapak Duta Besar Indonesia, Bapak Rumkono, yang telah berupaya maksimal untuk menyelenggarakan forum yang penting ini. Menurut pandangan kami, forum ini menjadi forum yang sangat berharga dalam membahas prioritas kita ke depan untuk peningkatan kerjasama antara Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina dalam pembangunan pertanian, khususnya hubungan antar pemerintah serta pelaku usaha kedua negara. Hadirin yang terhormat, sektor pertanian merupakan salah satu sektor yang paling strategis bagi Indonesia. Hal ini dapat dilihat dari kontribusi sektor pertanian pada total PDB Indonesia yang mencapai 14%, dan sektor pertanian juga mampu menyerap tenaga kerja sekitar 29,76% atau 38,23 juta dari sekitar 180 juta orang yang bekerja. Kita ketahui bahwa pada awal tahun 2020, seluruh dunia dilanda pandemi COVID-19. Banyak negara mengalami perlambatan pertumbuhan ekonomi, bahkan mengalami resesi ekonomi, tidak terkecuali negara Indonesia. Meskipun terjadi perlambatan pertumbuhan ekonomi, khususnya di Indonesia, akibat pandemi COVID-19, kami berkomitmen untuk tetap menjaga pertumbuhan PDB sektor pertanian pada kondisi yang positif. Rata-rata pertumbuhan PDB triwulan tahun 2020 untuk sektor pertanian yaitu sebesar 1,75%. Hal ini menunjukkan bahwa kekuatan sektor pertanian Indonesia untuk tetap tumbuh positif pada situasi pandemi. Hadirin yang terhormat, aktivitas perdagangan Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina sejauh ini belum maksimal dilakukan oleh kedua negara. Hal ini terlihat dari relatif rendahnya realisasi nilai perdagangan Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina pada tahun 2020 yaitu hanya sebesar 2 juta US dollar. Sementara khusus sektor pertanian, realisasi nilai perdagangan Indonesia Bosnia dan Herzegovina pada tahun 2020 hanya mencapai 109.000 US dollar. Produk coklat dan kelapa sawit menjadi komoditas ekspor utama Indonesia ke Bosnia dan Herzegovina. Kami berpandangan bahwa potensi peningkatan nilai perdagangan Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina masih dapat ditingkatkan lagi. Peran serta pemerintah kedua negara sangat dibutuhkan sebagai katalis dalam penguatan hubungan bisnis kedua pihak. Untuk itu, pemerintah Indonesia melalui Kementerian Pertanian berkomitmen untuk mendukung peningkatan aktivitas perdagangan kedua negara melalui dukungan fasilitasi penyederhanaan regulasi sektor pertanian sehingga para pelaku usaha dapat dengan mudah melakukan aktivitas perdagangan komoditas pertanian dari kedua negara. Komitmen pemerintah Indonesia dalam mendukung iklim investasi dan juga aktivitas perdagangan dapat juga dilihat dari kebijakan yang baru-baru ini dikeluarkan, yaitu dengan terbitnya Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja atau Job Creation Law nomor 11 tahun 2021 dan peraturan turunannya, yaitu Peraturan Pemerintah nomor 5 tahun 2021. Regulasi ini tentunya diharapkan dapat mendorong sektor investasi dan bisnis yang semakin menggeliat lagi. Hadirin yang terhormat, sekali lagi, saya sangat mengapresiasi dukungan penuh Duta Besar Republik Indonesia untuk Forum Bisnis Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina, sehingga ke depan efektivitas perdagangan kedua negara dapat semakin meningkat. Kami siap untuk memfasilitasi hubungan perdagangan dan bisnis kedua negara untuk mencapai posisi yang lebih maksimal lagi. Demikian sedikit pandangan dari kami. Semoga pertemuan Forum Bisnis Matching Indonesia, Bosnia, dan Herzegovina dapat berjalan lancar dan sukses. Akhir kata, kami ucapkan terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Momon Rusmono. Prevod govora od doktora Momon Rusmono. Gospodin Dušan Nešković, pomoćnik ministra vanjske trgovine i ekonomskih odnosa Bosne i Hercegovine. Vaša ekscelencijo, gospodin Rumkono, ambasador Indonezije u Bosni i Hercegovini. Vaša ekscelencijo, gospodin Mehmet Halilović, ambasador Bosne i Hercegovine u Indoneziji. Dame i gospodo, čast mi je što mogu govoriti na ovom poslovnom udruživanju Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine. Zahvaljujem ambasadoru Indonezije u Bosni i Hercegovini, njegovoj ekscelenciji gospodinu Rumkono za uloženi trud u organizaciji ovog važnog foruma. Po našem gledištu, ovo je veoma vrijedan forum u raspravi o našim budućim prioritetima za povećanje saradnje između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine u poljoprivrednom razvoju, posebno bilateralnih odnosa, kao i poslovne saradnje dviju zemalja. Dame i gospodo, poljoprivredni sektor je jedan od najstrateškijih sektora za Indoneziju. To se može vidjeti iz doprinosa poljoprivrednog sektora ukupnom bruto društvenom proizvodu Indonezije, koji doseže 14%, a poljoprivredni sektor također može apsorbovati gotovo polovinu ukupnog stanovništva Indonezije. Znamo da je početkom 2020. godine čitav svijet pogodila pandemija COVID-19. Mnoge zemlje doživljavaju usporavanje ekonomskog rasta, čak i ekonomsku recesiju, a Indonezija nije izuzetak. Unatoč usporavanju ekonomskog rasta Indonezije uslijed pandemije COVID-19, zalažemo se za održavanje pozitivnog rasta bruto društvenog proizvoda u poljoprivrednom sektoru. Prosječni tromjesečni rast bruto društvenog proizvoda u 2020. godini za poljoprivredni sektor iznosi 1,75%. Ovo pokazuje snagu indonezijskog poljoprivrednog sektora da nastavi pozitivno rasti u pandemijskoj situaciji. Dame i gospodo, do sada dvije zemlje nisu maksimalno obavljale trgovinske aktivnosti između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine. To se vidi iz relativno niske realizacije vrijednosti trgovine između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine u 2020. godini, koja je iznosila svega 2 milijuna američkih dolara. U međuvremenu, posebno za poljoprivredni sektor, realizacija vrijednosti trgovine između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine u 2020. godini dostigla je samo 109.000 američkih dolara. Kakao i proizvodi od palminog ulja su glavna izvozna roba Indonezije u Bosnu i Hercegovinu. Vidimo da još uvijek postoji potencijal za povećanje vrijednosti trgovine između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine. Uloga vlade dviju zemalja je potrebna kao katalizator u jačanju poslovnih odnosa između dvije zemlje. Stoga, Vlada Indonezije preko Indonežanskog ministarstva poljoprivrede se obavezala podržati poboljšanje trgovine između dvije zemlje, olakšavajući pojednostavljenje propisa poljoprivrednog sektora, tako da poslovni igrači mogu lako trgovati poljoprivrednim proizvodima iz dvije zemlje. Posvećenost vlade Indonezije u podržavanju investicijske klime i trgovine može se vidjeti i iz nedavno objavljenih politika, i to Zakona o otvaranju novih radnih mjesta broj 11 od 2021. godine i vladine uredbe broj 5 od 2021. godine. Očekuje se da će ova uredba potaknuti investicijski i poslovni sektor da polako napreduju. Dame i gospodo, još jednom zaista cijenim punu podršku ambasadora Indonezije u ovom poslovnom povezivanju Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine, tako da se trgovinske aktivnosti između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine mogu povećati u budućnosti. Spremni smo olakšati trgovinske i poslovne odnose između dvije zemlje kako bismo postigli optimalniji položaj. To su bila neka naša gledišta. Nadam se da će ovo poslovno uparivanje između Indonezije i Bosne i Hercegovine teći glatko i biti uspješno. Na kraju želimo vam se zahvaliti. Džakarta, 25. mart 2021. godine, dr. Momon Rusmono, generalni sekretar Ministarstva poljoprivrede Republike Indonezije. Our second main event is speech from Assistant Minister of Foreign Trade and Economic Relations, Bosnia and Herzegovina. We would like to invite Mr. Dušan Nešković to deliver the speech.
Thank you very much for the floor. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and pleasure to greet you on behalf of the Ministry for Foreign Trade and Economic Relations of Bosnia and Herzegovina and His Excellency Minister Staša Košarac, who couldn't be here with us due to the previous scheduled appointments. Allow me to pass his warm regards and his apologies for not being able to participate at this meeting due to his obligations at the regular season at the Council of the Ministers of Bosnia and Herzegovina at the moment. Also, I would like to express my deep appreciation to have possibility to join this eminent event, hoping that the meeting will expand further economic cooperation and overall trade between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Indonesia. Events like this one are always a great opportunity for both sides to analyze current position in our cooperation, what has been done until now, how far we have come, and what remains to make more productive our cooperation in order to get closer to the growing markets in the world. I take this opportunity to point that the global partnership becoming increasingly important for networking and cooperation for everyone, not only in region with our neighbors. I believe that our goal is clear. This is to make better environment for business community, but also for our nations. Nevertheless, I think that the private sector is not yet sufficiently involved in our mutual activities. Existing communication channels are not yet enough strong and needs to be strengthened in order to maintain an open and sustainable collaboration and partnership. We are very glad to have chance to present Bosnia and Herzegovina's development opportunities, advantages for business, economic cooperation, and investment. On this occasion, I wish to highlight that economic development in Bosnia and Herzegovina is not in proportion with our possibilities, particularly not in agriculture sector and food processing industry, but also not in tourism, local infrastructure, transport and communication, wood processing industry, and energy sector. Seeing the investments of the third countries in our region, we expect that in the coming period, Bosnia and Herzegovina will be more and more attractive for our investment and cooperation activities in different sectors, including assets from Indonesia as well. Bosnia, comparing Indonesia, Bosnia and Herzegovina is too small country with population around 3.5 million citizens. Rural areas make around 18% of the overall area, which are mostly undeveloped and facing with several serious problems, among which the most acute ones are population outflow and lack of the job opportunities. On the other hand, these areas have natural resources and rich cultural heritage, as well as some of the advantages that can serve as the basis for rural development and economic growth. The agricultural sector in Bosnia and Herzegovina remains economically significant, representing an integral part of its economy, creating an important source of employment for its rural population. Farmland in Bosnia and Herzegovina covers about 50% of the total area. Arable land covers about 60% of the farmland, while plowland covers about 20%. About 60% of the population of Bosnia and Herzegovina lives in rural areas, and for them, agriculture and forests are an important source for employment and fair income. Although Bosnia and Herzegovina has favorable climate conditions, including an early growing seasons and a relatively low labor cost that gives to the agricultural sectors and clear competitive advantage, agricultural production in Bosnia and Herzegovina is characterized by still relatively low productivity and shown that Bosnia and Herzegovina's agriculture needs transition from low technology agriculture towards a modern sector with agro policy aligned with market requirements. In order to address solutions for these challenges, Bosnia and Herzegovina sets development goals and priorities in agriculture sectors with full respect to the concept of sustainable development and simultaneously strengthening the new role of agriculture in economy and society, comprised in a multifunctional development concept, taking into consideration the diversity of the rural area. Our desire is to maintain the trend of the presence of foreign investors, further increase economic cooperation and the volume of the trade exchange. Despite existing problems caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we wish to host more tourists from many countries, including tourists from Indonesia as well. No doubt that not only existing great potential, but also very good political relations between our countries creates an excellent basis for this. Development of specific trade policy instruments with an investment and business-friendly dimension has been our principal objective. Bosnia and Herzegovina will permanently support strong bilateral economic development promotion, a significant value for improvement on living standards of the people in our countries. I'm deeply convinced that with joining activities like this one and with established mechanisms of cooperation between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Indonesia, we have possibility to reach expected results and increase our overall collaboration, investment, and trade in the field of agriculture, food, tourism, and wood processing industry. In this regard, we welcome and encourage the collaboration of the interested and involved parties from both countries. Finally, I wish to thank Indonesia side for perfect organization of the event. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Dusan Nešković. The next event after the speech is the presentation from all of the resource persons. And to begin with this presentation, we would like to invite Mr. Ognjen Alagić from the Customs Sector of the Indirect Taxation Authority Bosnia and Herzegovina to deliver presentation, the import and export procedures related to customs in foreign trading of Bosnia and Herzegovina, from Indonesia.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ministers, esteemed speakers, guests, and participants, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm greatly honored to have this opportunity to be with you today and to present customs procedures under competencies of the Indirect Taxation Authority of Bosnia and Herzegovina. On behalf of our institution and on my own behalf, I would like to take this opportunity to express the assurance of our highest consideration to host without doubting that this business matching will have a great impact on future trade and relation between two countries. Having in mind time limitation, I will try to be concise and concrete as much as possible. Let's start with the presentation. So, import and export procedures related to customs in foreign trade of B&H to and from Indonesia. Just to say basic info regarding our country, situated in Southern Europe on the Balkan Peninsula. Our area less more than 50,000 square meters, population 3.5 million, capital is Sarajevo. GDP for 2019 was 18,000 billion, per capita 5,178 euros. Our currency, Bosnian mark, approximately half of €1 or 1.61 US dollar. We are bordered by Croatia, Serbia, and Montenegro. We have, unfortunately, only 20 kilometers of coastline on the Adriatic Sea. Our climate is a combination of continental and Mediterranean one. Country is mostly mountainous. The highest peak is 2,300 meters, and close to 50% of our country is forested. Our economy, as you see in this slide, major export commodities from our country are metals, wood products, and clothing to other countries, of course. Our mineral resources, iron ore, lead, zinc, manganese, and bauxite. Main industries, steel production, vehicle assembly, textile, tobacco products, wooden furniture, and domestic appliances. Foreign direct investment, according to Central Bank of Bosnia and Herzegovina, in 2019 was 357 million. Top investors are Russia, Croatia, UK, Austria, Luxembourg, Saudi Arabia, and Slovenia. Last 10 years investments by sector, as you can see, manufacturing, banking, telecommunication, and trade. Regarding our accessions to let's say most well-known conventions are, as you see in this slide, firstly, we should say that B&H currently has observer status within the World Trade Organization. Because of pandemic, negotiations were expected to finish in 2019, I assume, but obviously we are still waiting for full status. Next, well-known convention on establishing the Customs Cooperation Council, informally known as the World Customs Organization. We are part of that convention from 2008. Next one, Convention on Temporary Admission, also well known as Istanbul Convention from 2010. And famous, let's say, because this convention is the most well-known one issued by World Customs Organization is International Convention on the Harmonized Commodity Description and Coding System from 2012. Bosnia and Herzegovina has several free trade agreements. From 2003, we had the free trade agreements with the bilateral one with the Republic of Turkey. Bosnia and Herzegovina is also part of Central European Free Trade Agreement from 2007. We also signed the Stabilization and Association Agreement with EU in 2008. We as well have from 2009 free trade agreement with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Signed the free trade agreements from 2015 with European Free Trade Agreement with Iceland, Luxembourg, Norway, and Switzerland. And unfortunately, our beneficiary status under the US Generalized System of Preferences expired in December last year, hoping that the United States will again approve our status to very important GSP program by United States. Now it's time to present my institution. Indirect Taxation Authority is the biggest state-level institution in B&H. Our headquarters, you can see in those pictures. So former customs administrations, 3 customs administrations in Bosnia and Herzegovina merged in 2004. And from 1st of January 2005, Indirect Taxation Authority worked as integral entity. We are autonomous administrative organization through governing board, our governing board, which is to the Council of Ministers of B&H. Banja Luka, second largest city, headquarter is in city where I live and where I work. In total, 2,425 employees, comprises of 5 sectors: tax sector, customs sector, business and business services, enforcement, and IT sector. Our priorities and goals: acceleration the flow of goods and people, enhancing the level of security of citizens, especially having in mind current COVID circumstances and heightened climate of security concerns, developing cooperation with other institutions and organizations, especially with international ones, harmonizing the facilitation, the procedures, especially customs procedures, and of course, fight against illicit trafficking, customs, and tax frauds. We are conducting procedures at 4 regional centers, as you see in these pictures, geographical spread for 4 regional centers. We have 83 border crossing points, small country, but we have a lot of them, including road, railway, post, customs offices, and free trade zones, 4 international airports, 3 river ports, 33 customs branch offices. The customs sector is the biggest one within Indirect Taxation Authority with 1,351 employees. And the participation of customs duties in the ITA total revenues amount to 3.6 67%. Data from 2020. We are conducting simplified procedures, which are very interesting to our operators. Some of them are incomplete declaration, invoice-based customs procedures, local clearance, authorized consignor and consignee, authorized exporter in respect to proving preferential origin, simplified customs procedure for goods transported by pipeline and electric power, and the regulations in respect to authorized economic operator are still in the adoption procedure, expected to be finalized in mid this year. Inspections, which are closely work with customs, with the direct taxation authority on our borders, are border veterinary, food market, phytosanitary, agency for medical products and medical devices, Institute for the Standardization, Metrology, and I would like to highlight our IPR protection, which is supervised by customs. In next couple of slides, we see our foreign trade statistics. First, let's see before pandemic in 2009. We can compare data in total for Bosnia and with Indonesia. So as you see, total export from B&H to all countries amounted to almost 12 billion Bosnian marks. Total import to B&H from all other countries from around the world amounted to nearly 20,000 billions. And the coverage of import by export was almost 60%. Export from B&H to Indonesia in 2019 amounted 29,000 Bosnian marks, and import amounting to 12,500 Bosnian marks. So the participation of imported goods from Indonesia in 2019 amounted to 0.064 of total imports in B&H. Of course, we should improve this data. I have no doubt that we will increase our trade relations in upcoming years. In 2020, a total export from B&H was 10,500 billions, import almost 16,000 billions, coverage was 62%. Export from B&H to Indonesia, 184 Bosnian marks, thousands, and import amounted to nearly 30,000 Bosnian marks. Participation was less better in 2020, having in mind COVID circumstances, and amounted to 0.075% of total imports. Now we can see more detailed statistics with our trade relations with Indonesia as a trading partner. Our export with Indonesia, I wouldn't like to take much more time because we are a bit behind the schedule. You can, after this event, you can ask anything you may like, and I will be more than welcome to answer all of your questions. But let's just comment a basic things. So total export to Indonesia from B&H, as you see, in net weight and BAM, Bosnian marks. This is also export from 2020. Now you can see here that products from HS chapter 36 and 44, wood and article of woods, pyrotechnic products was the most interesting exporting products from B&H to Indonesia. And you can see article of iron or steel from HS chapter 76. Importation from Indonesia to Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2019, you can see that main interesting products were from chapter 15, animal or vegetable fats and oils, with almost 1 million, let's say, Bosnian marks, 700,000, almost 800,000, and products preparation of meat or fish or with the mollusks or other aquatic invertebrates from chapter 16. And of course, food and articles of food from chapter 44. Trading relations importation 2009, continuing with the paper from chapter 48, which was the most interesting, let's say, commodity and a group of commodities to B&H operators, with 7 million, value of 7 million Bosnian marks in Bosnia and Herzegovina value. As well, textile fabrics from chapter 59, footwear and such articles from chapter 64, and electric machinery or equipment related to all electrical appliances from chapter 85, 2,600,000 value of importation in B&H in 2019. 2020, against chapter 15, animal or vegetable fats, rubber articles, wood and article of wood, again, paper with 8 million, as you see, textile fabrics, footwear again, glassware, vehicles, parts of that, musical instruments, furniture, in total almost 13 million km in B&H. If you maybe operators from Indonesia will be interested in specific commodities, certain commodities such as food industries, wood products, footwear, and textile. And the main points we can highlight here that all those products are not under specific regime or limitation as licenses or such approvals. All of them can be freely imported into Bosnia and Herzegovina without the need for import permits. Certain certificates are issued for specific products, veterinary, phytosanitary, market, or food inspection at the border or in inland customs locations, and clearance is always fast without unnecessary delays. Sometimes some samples might be taken in order to analyze a product of goods, and goods should be stored in warehouses until laboratory results are gotten. Of course, it should be emphasized that IPR supervision, especially for footwear and textile products, are always in place, and importers and exporters have to be aware of it. Having in mind that we don't have time for question and answer session, please, you may ask me personally by this mail provided at the bottom of this slide, or you may put your general inquiries related to customs procedures by general email to our institution or by post in writing to our address provided here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a privilege to be here today with you, and I hoped that I resolved some of your concerns and some of your expectations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ognjen Alagic, for your informative presentation. Next, for the second resource person, we would like to invite Mr. Rosan Ruslani, Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to deliver presentation of the potential of Bosnia and Herzegovina as non-traditional market for Indonesian exporters.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. It is my honor and pleasure to be in the presence of all of you, especially to His Excellency Bapak Rumkono, Indonesian Ambassador for Bosnia and Herzegovina, His Excellency Mehmet Halilovic, the ambassador to Indonesia, and also our colleague from Chambers of Commerce, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to share a little bit of the slide. Okay, can you see my slide now? Okay, thank you. Well, this is I'm going to do very briefly, even though it's already been mentioned earlier by the previous speaker, but I would like to highlight the trade between two countries from 2017 to 2019. Here we see the trade between two countries, between Indonesia and Bosnia Herzegovina, is fluctuate quite a lot. In 2017, Indonesia do a lot of import from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and 2018 is kind of similar. But in 2019, Indonesia export more to Bosnia and Herzegovina. So we have a surplus about 1 million. Even the trade between two countries still very limited, but hopefully in the future the trade between two countries will improve significantly. Even though it has been highlighted by earlier speaker, this is the Indonesia export to BH. If we see the number, the export come from electrical machinery and also from rubber, from organic chemical, from cocoa. Also, Indonesia do a lot of export cocoa, footwears, and other things. So this is our trade. If we see the number in 2018, it's about 1.15 million US dollar, and then 0.28 million US dollar, and 2019 is close to 2 million US dollar. And this is the import from Bosnia and Herzegovina to Indonesia. We'll see the number. It comes from the machinery, mechanical appliances, nuclear boiler, also from footwears, arms and ammunition, electrical machinery. So this is the number. And we would like, obviously, to see the export from Bosnia to Herzegovina and Herzegovina to Indonesia is improving also. And if we see between two countries, Indonesia is exploring to improve the trade and also investment, not only to we call it our traditional countries such as Japan, Korea, US, but we are opening up to, we call it, non-traditional countries. I think because we would like to have a lot of counterpart from a lot of different countries. This is very brief, even though it's been mentioned earlier. Bosnia and Herzegovina is an upper middle income country specializing in exporting car seat, electricity, processed wood, aluminum, and furniture. And we'll see the number is actually very good, but because of the COVID-19, it contracting a little bit in terms of the GDP per capita, in terms of the growth. But I see the number hopefully is bounced back in the coming year. This is I would like to highlight also this, because I think it's also very important. Looking the number, the commodities that exported and imported by BHG, by Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we'll see this the export, the 5 export commodities. We can see the number here. Come from furniture, machinery, article of iron, fuel, electrical machinery, and this is the import. So actually, from the import side, it's complementary with Indonesia, because we also do a lot of import in terms of mineral fuels, machinery, and also plastic. So we can explore the commodities that we think is gonna be suitable for two countries. And this is very brief about the foreign direct investment flow in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Even though the investment between the two countries still very, very low, but again, by having a regular meeting, by having this type of virtual business matching, hopefully we can do something together. And how to improve the synergy between parties to expand the export market? I think we need to do participate in a trade expo because we know several countries they have exhibition regularly, and I think by participating in this exhibition, it will promote the goods and also the product between two countries, and also we have what we call it ITPC, which is Indonesian Foreign Overseas Trade Representative, which is can be market intelligence for both of us, and also can update us with a lot of regulation, a lot of policy that can promote to enhance the trade and investment between two countries. So we need to also establish cooperation with local association. Indonesia producers, we should make a regular contact, not only one contact, but by having the regular contact, the opportunity can arise, and by also later become a to exchange information and learn more about each other, about the standard or quality enacted by both government. And also we need to guarantee the quality and delivery of goods. It is also very important. Satisfactory quality and delivery must be on time. Indonesia exporter or producer be able to produce their product with consistently standardized quality, deliver effectively, and often communicate regularly with importers in various countries who want producer who can meet and criteria mentioned above. And I mentioned it also about diaspora. Even though in Bosnia and Herzegovina, maybe not a lot of Indonesian living there, but we should utilize and use them to to look for the opportunity, because they are the one who are also familiar with a lot of networking in their respected country. So I think the policy of our government also to have more countries as other countries as a counterpart, and we are improving a lot of our policy, our regulation. If I may share you a little bit, especially with our omnibus law, which is been signed by our parliament late last year, and actually the implementing regulation has been enacted quite recently. So it create a better environment for investment, for ease of doing business also in Asia, and especially to improve our productivity. And Indonesia definitely be becoming more open countries. We revise our negative investment list on the omnibus bill, and we would like to see not only from the trade side, but also from the tourism side and also from the investment side can be improved significantly in the future. I know this is a challenging time for all of us because of the COVID-19. But as as exporter, as a producer, we need to be active, to be creative and adaptive with this current condition and current situation. And by having this regular meeting, even though via virtual, I think it will help to understand each other. and to see the potential that we can explore together, because I strongly believe there are a lot of untapped potential between two countries that can be achieved and can be explored by having this kind of session. Again, I'm really hope this session can bring up the opportunity, not only on the trade side, but also on the investment side. And my highest appreciation to especially to His Excellency Bapak Rumkono, who has initiated to have this very productive and fruitful discussion, hopefully in the future. Again, thank you very much, and I'll give back the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rossen Ruslani. For the third resource person, we would like to invite Mrs. Joyce Budisusanto, Director International Corporate Affairs, Sinarmas, to deliver presentation of company profile Sinarmas Group and share experience in entering Europe global market.
His Excellency, Mr. Dusan Neskovic, Assistant Minister of the Sector for Agribusiness, Food, Forestry and Rural Development in the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Relations, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Dr. Momon Rusmono, Assistant Minister of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Opjan Alajic, the Custom Sector of the Indirect Tax Authority, Bosnia and Herzegovina. His Excellency Mr. Mehmet Holilovic, Bosnia and Herzegovina Ambassador for Indonesia. His Excellency Rumkono, Indonesian Ambassador for Bosnia and Herzegovina. His Excellency Rossen Ruslani, Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning for participants in Sarajevo and a good afternoon for participants in Jakarta. First, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the opportunity to present and speak in this important and strategic forum. As you can see, the first page of my presentation is the wood carving of the sun. Inspired by the sun that shines endlessly, Mr. Eka Cipta Wijaya named his company Sinarmas, which means golden ray. Sinarmas has since developed into a brand name that used by companies that are independently managed but share a common history and corporate values. All Sinarmas businesses are committed to the highest business, environment, and social standard for sustainability and inclusive growth. In total, Sinarmas create 380 jobs, 80,000 jobs, and support 500,000 additional jobs. Now we enter the pulp and paper. Started with 4 pillars: agribusiness, pulp and paper, financial services, property and development. With hard work, endless efforts, and sharp intuition, now Sinarmas has 7 pillars with energy and infrastructure, communication and technology, healthcare. And let us look a little bit about our founder, late Mr. Eka Cipta Wijaya. He started his business at the age of 15. He has the ability to think out of the box. He used to his elementary diploma as a collateral, known as a hardworking, diligent, and a man of his word. He was trusted and respected by everyone. To maintain the trust, he once sold his wedding ring, his wife's wedding ring, to pay off the debts. Now we started the pulp and paper. We focus only pulp and paper and agribusiness because the time constraint, because I believe that 2 pillars is most of your interest. When Sinarmas started the pulp and paper products in 1962, business started computerized, has just embarked. Yeah, but then our founders still believe that pulp and paper consumption will rise, and our products at the moment is tissue paper, photocopy paper, exercise books, writing pads, sticky notes, packaging, Quran paper. Yeah, headed by our chairman and CEO for the pulp and paper, Mr. Teguh Gandawijaya. Yeah. We have 11 mills and forest areas in Indonesia. Yeah. Now we go to the agribusiness, which headed by Mr. Frankie Wijaya, Chairman and CEO for the agribusiness. Now, Sinarmas Agribusiness and Food is one of the world's largest palm oil-based company with headquarters in Jakarta, Indonesia. Established in 1962, now the company manages about 500,000 hectares palm oil estate, provide 170,000 jobs worldwide, produce, own, distribute, and sell more than 30 brands in more than 70 countries, and member of RSPO, which is Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil since 2011. By 2020, have achieved 100% traceability to the plantation. Yeah, set aside 72,000 hectares for conservation. Now, I believe in my title, you have seen the word President Office. What is President Office doing? President Office is supporting the diplomacy and advocacy efforts of all business pillars. Yeah, I'm sure you know diplomacy and advocacy, where we come when there is a problem in the company. Yeah, and this is our stakeholder, internal, external, and others. Yeah. Now we have this other initiative, Eka Cipta Foundation, and then another foundation, Yayasan Buddha Seci Indonesia, Perwakilan Sinarmas, or the Seci Foundation, yeah, representative office in Sinarmas, and also the Yayasan Muslim Sinarmas, or the Sinarmas Muslim Foundation. And then the education part is Prasetya Mulya, Sinarmas World Academy, and then ITSB is Institute Technology and Science Bandung. And these are our products. Now, this is the contact person if you need anything for the pulp and paper, as well as the food product, the agribusiness. And if you want to have others, then you can reach me. Yeah, I hope my brief introduction on Sinarmas was well explained. And should you have any question, Pak Peter and Pak Narayana will help to respond to your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Joyce Budi Susanto, for your presentation. And the next presentation, we would like to invite Mr. Eko Budianto, Operational Director, PT PPI, to deliver the presentation of the potential of Indonesian agribusiness.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellency Bapak Rumkono, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia for Bosnia and Herzegovina, His Excellency Mr. Mehmet Haginovic, Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina for Indonesia, Bapak Sekjen Sekretaris Jenderal Kementerian Pertanian Republik Indonesia. Good morning, Sarajevo. Selamat pagi, selamat siang, selamat sore, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first extend my appreciation to Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, for facilitating this important program, and thank you for inviting me as the representative of PT Perusahaan Perdagangan Indonesia Trading Company, Persero, to the 4th Indonesia Bosnia Herzegovina virtual business matching. First of all, I would like to present a short introduction to the PT PPI. PT Perusahaan Perdagangan Indonesia or Indonesian Trading Company is a state-owned enterprise engaged in domestic and international trade. In running its business, PT PPI Persero is supported by head office with 32 branches, subsidiaries, representative office, rural wholesalers, and other sales partners. In the colonial era, the Dutch government had established trading companies in Indonesia known as the Big Five, mainly for exporting spices to Europe. Then after Indonesian independence, the Indonesian government nationalized all these trading companies to become state-owned companies, and we call Niaga in 1950s. In June 2003, the government of Indonesia decided to merge the remaining 3 Niaga or trading company, namely PT Cipta Niaga, PT Dharma Niaga, and Panca Niaga, became only one trading company, namely PT Perusahaan Perdagangan Indonesia, or also known as Indonesia Trading Company, effective from March 31st, 2003, based on the government regulation of Republic Indonesia number 22 of 2003. The main business activities of the company are international trade and domestic trade, which includes export, import, inter-island, local trade, distribution, representation and agency, retail, and procurement of various products commodities. In addition, PT PPI can carry out business activities in order to optimize the utilization of the company's resources, such as building leases, office leases, shop leases, land leases, transportation, property, and tourism. PT PPI, next slide. PT PPI has 32 branch offices throughout Indonesia, 3 stock points, and special priority channel, also named main customs partner in 4 areas of Indonesia. Next, please. Next, please. PT PPI has established 5 representative offices in China, Taiwan, Singapore, Egypt, and United Arab Emirates in cooperation with overseas partners. These are some examples of PT PPI export destination. The products are coffees, desiccated coconut, spices, cocoa, coffee, teas, palm oil, and so on. These are some excellent examples of PT PPI export product commodities, such as spices, coffee, tea, cocoa, fisheries, and so on. And these are some examples of PT PPI import product commodities, just like industrial chemical, plantation chemical, rice, meat, other chemicals, and fruits. Next. PT PPI Persero also has our own label brand products such as Panganesia for rice and cooking oil, Arnes for canned fish, Covare for coffee, Transamin for tranexamic acid pharmaceutical product, and Dharma brand for pesticide. Here is some information on Indonesia Bosnia Herzegovina trade balance from 2015 until 2020. In year 2020, Indonesia export value to Bosnia Herzegovina amount to $1 million and import value approximately $900 $956,000 US. Here is some information of top Indonesia export product to Bosnia Herzegovina, such as leather footwear, palm oil, facial tissue, and etc. Although the agricultural sector has also been negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, this doesn't close the potential of development in our agribusiness sector or agricultural industry. The total area of agricultural land in Indonesia reaches 36.8 million hectares, of which about 7.4 million hectares are wetland and around 29 million hectares are non-wetlands. Progress in agriculture sector in Indonesia has been made in recent years by implementing business-friendly initiative to bring in foreign investment as well as domestic contribution. Investment are utilized to increase the use of mechanized and automatic agricultural technology, expand the total farming area, and improving infrastructure. The development aims to help bridge the structural gaps to meet local food demand and the export to other countries. Every year, Indonesia import food from abroad that amount to 53.5 trillion rupiahs, or 3,849 million US dollar. Export dominated Indonesia's agriculture and food trade between January and September 2020, amounting to approximately 23.2 billion US dollar, or 9.8% higher compared to the same period last year, very much better compared to the country's overall export, which contracted by 5 to 8%. Conversely, at 10.9 billion US dollar, cumulative agricultural and food imports up to September 2020 declined mainly by 1.1% compared to January-September 2019 levels. In fact, most traditionally imported commodities experienced a decline in import volume compared to the previous year, with the exception of sugar, garlic, and yellow onion, for which import increased by 58%, 47%, and 44%, consecutively, due to government efforts to address price hike of these commodities in first quarter and second quarter 2020. Indonesian agribusiness is changing for the better, pursuing new supply chain model such as hypermarket, products, and business structure. Yet Indonesian agribusiness must become even more dynamic to keep pace with the rapid transformation of agribusiness globally. Lastly, trade between Indonesia and Bosnia and Herzegovina has yet to reach its maximum potential. Hopefully, through this event, we can establish powerful and successful business relationship with exporter and importer from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, dear guests, participants, dear colleagues from business chambers and other business associations. First of all, I would like to share with all of you that it is my great pleasure that I am part of this event. It's very important for all of us in the moment of pandemic that we try to organize something like that, to introduce each other, to speak each other, to have some conversation between our parties. Because that I would like to make the big thanks to our Excellencies, ambassadors, regarding to make a decision to organize this kind of event in combination with online and directly. It's important to mention this successful meeting that can be shown to all others that we can organize something similar. We cannot wait. We cannot wait that pandemic will go on. We must work continuously to organize meetings, to try to connect the companies in Bosnia and Indonesia and so on. Regarding to our institution, Chamber of Economy of Federation Bosnia and Herzegovina, this is independent, non-governmental and non-profit business associations. Our members are companies organized in chamber through different sectors in different centers. There exist many more than 25 different associations accordingly to point of interest of this company. Because that we have organized the metal industry, chemical industry, furniture industry, IT sectors, automotive industry, and so on and so on. Our general mission is to present, to serve, and to promote the interest of our members on our local and international market, and to support them in meeting potential partners. It's really also is important to speak about integrating generally Southeast Europe countries into the global supply chain as regional and international trade corridor. And I can imagine Bosnia and Herzegovina as in a very important position. And we need strong, exceptional facilities and logistic infrastructure which the companies needs. Up to now, some of companies already have a contact and buyers, but individually. Our rule in future is have to provide a better network for all of them and all other companies which have the growing up on market in all kind of industry. In seeking to improve competitiveness, South Bosnia use several important resources, such as that this region is close to the world's largest market, European Union, and they have a well-educated labor force, price competitive in comparison to other Europe countries, low operation cost, significantly lower than European Union countries, and access to European Union structural funds to support for growing up of production facilities. Through the Chamber of Commerce, the company will be able to educate themselves, implement the necessary standards, and start with easier positions. Accordingly to our geographic position and proximity to European Union market, many free and preferential trade agreements make our country and our companies as very favorable for business relationships. Regarding to my country, it's important to mention Central European Free Trade Agreement, a free trade agreement with Turkey, free trade agreement with EFTA, preferential trade agreement with all European Union countries, and preferential export regimes with USA, Russia, and so on. Because that I believe that connection between company in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Indonesia can be good for all your future project in European Union. Finally, speaking on this session, it's looked like growing up to new topics in the new level from Indonesia as one very important and global trade player through the regional trade corridors to Bosnia, from Bosnia to the other Southeast Europe countries, from Southeast Europe countries to European Union, and back with the same trade and technological corridor to Indonesia. I see there great challenges and great chance for my country and and companies in our membership. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Mirsad Yashar Spahic. And for the last presentation for today, we would like to invite Bosnian and Herzegovinian companies to deliver presentation. Espai Bosnia by Mr. Mirza Pitic.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, extinguished guests. My name is Mirza. I'm coming from SPI Bosnia Travel Agency. We will present the potential of tourism in Bosnia. I will also present our travel agency, and I hope we will have the slide showing. Okay. I have only 5 minutes, so I will try to be quick, and we try to put some pictures just to show you the beauties of Bosnia. Our travel agency's name is SPI Bosnia, which means Discover the Hidden. So we perceive that Bosnia is still not discovered by many people, especially the people that are coming from Asia, the Malaysians, Indonesians, Singapore. So we are trying to make bridges between these countries. Okay. So my travel agency is established in 2014. Mainly we are working with GCC, which are the Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, but also we had groups coming from Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. Why we put Malaysia first? Because we have the main guests from Malaysia, majority of guests, but we want to change it. We want the majority of guests coming from Indonesia because it's it's the biggest country in the region. So we organize the full packages, which include accommodation, transfers, tours, food, and other services. So just to explain where is Bosnia. So we made a small map of Europe to show you that actually Bosnia is almost in the heart of Europe. We are very close to all other main European countries like Italy, Switzerland, France. What is of interest to the Indonesian market is that when they come to Bosnia, they can visit not only Bosnia, but also Balkan countries and European countries. We had many tours that would start, for example, in one of the Balkan countries, and then the guests would visit Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia, Austria, Italy, Macedonia, Greece. So there's a huge potential when visiting Bosnia to visit all other countries. So Bosnia is a small country. We say like our capital is Sarajevo. It has half a million of citizens, which is like a small street in Jakarta. So when we say that we are a population of only 4 million, the Indonesians laugh like it's nothing. So other major cities are Banja Luka, Mostar, Zenica, Tuzla, and Bihać. So what we offer is rich culture and rich heritage. So we have in our small region, in our small country, we have 4 religions. We have a rich history. We had medieval Bosnia, which was a kingdom. We had the Ottoman era. We have Austro-Hungarian era. And we say we are the place where East meets West. So just to make some impression of what vacation in Bosnia could be like is these pictures. So Bosnia is rich with waters, clean, fresh running waters, and sometimes we use it for swimming or doing the rafting. These waters are so clean that when people are on rafting, they can even take the water by their hand and drink it, which is like a unique experience in the whole world. We have many national parks in the mountains, with the lakes, without lakes, many hiking tours. So for people that want to have active vacation, they will enjoy it. And as we are a small country, everything is very reachable. So all these tours will take like 1 hour, maximum 2 hours from the capital. So again, I will come back to Sarajevo. Sarajevo is the capital city, around 500,000 of inhabitants, the place where East meet West. According to the infrastructure, according to the culture, we have in a small region, like in a walking distance, of 5 to 10 minutes, you will see mosques, cathedrals, churches, synagogues, different architecture of Austro-Hungarian buildings, Ottoman small shops. So around Sarajevo, like half an hour drive, you have 4 Olympic mountains. In winter time, we have plenty of snow, so we have skiing activities, We have 3 ski resorts. In the summertime, spring and autumn, we have beautiful places to visit, like Spring of River Bosnia, Mountain Trebević, which has amazing view on the whole city of Sarajevo. So it's very enjoyable. Mostar is one of the most beautiful cities in Bosnia, and a lot of people have seen it in the pictures. So in many times when you see the picture of Bosnia, you will see this bridge, which is an old bridge. It's built in the 15th century. It is built above the river Neretva. It is a must-see, and the distance from Sarajevo is 2 hours. So usually when guests arrive to Bosnia, Mostar is a must to be visited. So these are some pictures of our guests. So we have them in Sarajevo, in Jajce, in Dubrovnik, Ljubljana, which is in Slovenia, Maribor, Croatia. Just to show you how people are coming together, just some few pictures. This picture is from the airport of Sarajevo. People were so delighted when they saw the snow. So as we are running short of time, I will go quickly. Our services, of course, as a travel agency, we offer accommodation in Bosnia and the Balkan countries, all Balkan countries, and even in European countries. We have organized tours in Italy, in Austria, in Greece. We have, in Bosnia, we have hotels 5, 4, 3 stars, so all kind of accommodation is available. Our services, of course, are transfers and tours. We have our own fleet of cars, we have vans, we contracted transportation companies, so modern coaches are available, buses. So whatever the clients need, it will be available. They gave me only 5 minutes. I would speak about Bosnia for hours. I really want to make a good impression on you. So thank you for your listening, thank you for your attention. In case you have any requests or any questions, you can email us, you can send me a message on WhatsApp. We are open for all kind of assistance, suggestions, or anything else you may need. So this is my short presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you in Bosnia, hopefully when this pandemic finishes and we have like a nice time like we had before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mirzapetic. Fortuna Tours, DMC by Mrs. Sanja Kaljužny.
So good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can see my presentation. First of all, to Mr. Ambassador of Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Roem Kono, and His Excellency also Mehmet Halilovic, Ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina for Indonesia, and also to everybody else. I'm Sanja Kaljužny, Deputy of General Manager from Fortuna Tours Mostar. Fortuna Tours, based in Mostar, was founded 1989. I hope now it's correct. Fortuna Tours was founded 1989, and it is the travel agency based in Mostar. So in the last 13 years, we are developing to a big incoming tour operator or destination management company for the whole Balkan area, where we visited since many years big travel fairs presenting Bosnia and Herzegovina and our products all over the world. Fortuna Tours we have also the map of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a small, and we would like to say, hidden small country or last undiscovered destination in Europe. And our product is to present Bosnia and Herzegovina, but also all neighboring countries in the region or ex-Yugoslavia countries, which is really interesting for the Asian countries, where we visited also the tourism fair in Jakarta, in Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and many others. Fortuna Tours, before the Corona or the COVID-19 pandemic, we had 20 full-time employees and also 50 to 60 guides representing Bosnia and Herzegovina. First of all, Mostar with our beautiful old bridge, and Međugorje, one of the biggest pilgrimage places in Europe, I would say in Europe, and then also very famous all around the world in the Catholic world. Here you can see our team, and we have 3 offices in Mostar, and before COVID-19 we had also 1 office in Sarajevo and 1 also in Međugorje. This is our symbol. We are very near based near the old bridge in Mostar, and our mission is to make. We offer very good excursions in Mostar and surround area, hotel accommodation, transfers, escorted tours, round trips, and one of the very famous products is Balkan tour. Fortuna Tours is also member of IATA, ETOA, European Destination Management Organizations, and UHPA, Croatian travel agencies, UTA, Bosnian travel agencies, and also we have 3A from company Bisnode for the Golden Excellence in Business. So here are some, in the pictures are a destination in Bosnia and Herzegovina. On this picture you can see Kravice waterfalls. It's very near Mostar, around 30 kilometers, and belongs to our Herzegovina tour. So we are based in Mostar, in part of south of country in Herzegovina actually. On the small picture down is Blagaj, Dervish monastery, very interested for the religious Muslim world, which we offer also Muslim program with halal food, halal itineraries, are also very famous in the Indonesian market. Next destination, Počitelj, also on our Herzegovina tour, very beautiful medieval open museum place in south of our country, around 20 kilometers from Mostar to the south. Also beautiful destination, Jajce in Bosnia, Kingtown, near Travnik, and one of our excursion cities from Sarajevo. So here's a little bit about Mostar. Mostar is the third biggest place in Bosnia and Herzegovina, place with very mixed culture from Oriental, from East, from Ottoman Empire. And there is a center of town with the old bridge, and all around the old bridge is UNESCO Heritage World on the list. And then there are many also buildings from the Austrian-Hungarian time. This is Kujundžić, also near the old bridge, bazaar streets, when you can see different handworks. And we also had an office in Sarajevo. We offer also a guiding tour from Sarajevo with many places to visit, and also also from excursions from Sarajevo around places, the capital city. This is in all what we offer, and also all around Bosnia and Herzegovina are medieval tombstones or graveyards from UNESCO World Heritage, which are a very special and unique story from our country. For all contacts or anything for our destination, we will be more than glad to wish you welcome also in our town and in our country, to help you to visit all highlights we can offer to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanja Kaljužny. Fibra Award DOO by Mr. Mehmed Krilašević.
Good day to you, my ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Mehmed Trilasevich, representative from Fibrevod company, which is based in Gradačac. The main activity of Fibrevod is the production profiles of fiberglass or polyester resin and glass fibers as reinforcement. Our products have been in effect more than 4 decades. On the basis of strength, the fiberglass profiles could be used to replace old products made from iron, since they have much better properties in multiple segments. As opposite of iron products, the fiberglass profiles are much lighter. It is easiest to mount them and transport them. They don't rust, they don't need to be painted because they are already produced in desired color. They are resistant to chemical agents, they are resistant to high and low temperatures, they don't conduct electricity, they are waterproof, and they can be processed in different form like iron, like products made of iron. Production of fiberboard applies to the electroenergetic sector as a different channels covering cables, space with electrical lockers, cabinets for informatics, railways, aeronautical, construction sector, road infrastructure, as what are the sign and bumper in the area of the traffic. Our products are used by Italian Telecom, of which various types of channels for laying cables in the walls or street poles, and the application is in mines, tunnels, and fencing landslides, use of high quality piles. Our products are used also for the civil construction industry as concrete reinforcing material, the fence industry, in the production of joinery, for the fences, retaining walls around the lakes, seas, and rivers, and the construction of embankments. We produce profiles for making the fan for cooling industrial water. They don't rust. For the French market, we also produce profiles for external insulation, what is used for installing the plasterboard to maintain thermal and sound isolation. That is all at the moment. If you need to learn something else about fiberboard production, I will be in room number 4. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Mehmet Krilašević. Foreign Investment Promotion Agency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, FIPA, by Mrs. Tanja Bojović-Simić.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you can hear me. Tanja is speaking.
Yes, it's okay, Mrs. Tanja.
Thank you. Yesterday we faced some difficulties, so thanks God now everything is okay. So at the end of today's session and today's meeting, I would like to introduce myself on behalf of the Foreign Investment Promotion Agency of Bosnia and Herzegovina. My name is Tanja Bojović-Simić, and I am as a senior associate within Foreign Investment Promotion Department. Today's speakers before me said everything about our country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, investment opportunities, and all the beauties and attractiveness that we offer. So that's why, since it's almost the end of today's meeting, I'm going to briefly inform you about FIPA's mission and services that we conduct for more than 20 years. We are a state agency established by the Council of Ministers. So we do attract potential foreign investors from all over the world and force them to invest in Bosnia and Herzegovina, offering our presentations through different events, conferences, meetings, B2B meetings, and other meetings. So now I'm just going to say approximately what our main mission is. Besides attracting potential foreign investors, we do present foreign investors through our aftercare project, since very often investors who already started their business here in Bosnia face some problems and obstacles. So we, on behalf of our agency, are trying as best as possible to face their problems, to remove their obstacles, and to give them best solution as possible. Besides that, FIPA provides information, analyses, and advises on the business and investment environment, including legal framework for foreign direct investment incentives that are available here in Bosnia, economic and business trends. Also, what we are doing, we are collecting potential investment projects. Today, our speakers were talking a lot about agricultural sector in Bosnia and Herzegovina, possibilities of bringing investors from not only Indonesia, but from all over the world to Bosnia to try to start agricultural business, since we have a lot of potentials. Due to that, I'd like just to mention that on FIPA web page that is available and public to everybody, we have available agricultural projects that are offered by the local project owners. So what our task is just to be kind of barrier between, not barrier, between a local project owner and potential foreign investors. So our main task is to try to connect them in order to start business activities here in Bosnia. Also, we assist the potential investors and those that have already invested in the country. How do we do it? Through effective networking with both public and private sector. We are linking with governmental and non-governmental institutions to facilitate investment and business development. Also, we cooperate with local, regional, and international organizations to promote and enhance the investment environment. I would like to mention that FIPA headquarters is located here in Sarajevo capital. We heard a lot of wonderful things about our capital, but besides, we have our regional offices in Mostar and Banja Luka. So, in that sense, we cover whole territory of Bosnia and Herzegovina. What I would like to mention at the end of my brief speech is our investment situation when it comes to Indonesia, to your country. Unfortunately, the amount of investments from Indonesia is really symbolic. So far, let's say only 5,000 euros of investments from Indonesia. We are aware that Indonesia is so far country and it's really difficult to bring the investors from that country to come to Bosnia. But definitely what we should do, especially in the future, especially after these pandemic issues, to try to organize a kind of offering investment presentations about investment opportunities of Bosnia and Herzegovina to the potential investors from Indonesia, to try to bring investors from your country. When we have one good investor from your country, he becomes the best ambassador of our country, Bosnia, to Indonesia. So we should try to improve signing of bilateral contracts, since so far, unfortunately, we still did not sign any contract with Indonesia, but definitely in the future, we should try to do more on that. I would not speak about foreign trade because our speakers before me already mentioned how is the situation. So my last sentence would be that just we should try in the future to promote Bosnia and Herzegovina more and more to foreign investors in Indonesia, to try to connect people this time through this online virtual conversation, virtual presentation, but later on, as soon as situation in the world is better, to try to organize more promotional events in order to present Bosnia and Herzegovina as best as possible. That would be from my side shortly, because I think that we are already a bit tired, so maybe next time we will have a chance to do this live and to have much better situation in Bosnia and in the whole world. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you got a point briefly on what FIPA is doing. And please, for any question, for any misunderstandings, you can contact us in Sarajevo or maybe Banja Luka or Mostar. Send us questions because we are giving the answers in 2 or 3 days to the foreign investors. If we are not in a position to find appropriate answers, be a link foreign investors to our governmental institutions, to embassies, or to some other institution that is offered. Thank you very much, and I wish you to be healthy, to be happy, and this madness to over as soon as possible. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mrs. Tanja Bojović-Simić.